The last thing that happened was we came to Ebonheart to talk to Cangtunian Ponius as part of the Ebony Trade quest, which is the last quest for House Hlaalu that stems out of Balmora. In this segment, we're going to complete a few Hlaalu quests in order to get the Amulet of Domination and gain enough faction reputation that we'll be done with Hlaalu quests completely until we do the Grandmaster quest line. Along the way, I'm also going to join the Fighters Guild and do a few quests there that happen to be in convenient locations as we run back and forth between Caldera and Vivec. Important thing to note with the Fighters Guild is that there are quite a few quests that conflict or make harder quests in the Thieves Guild. So I'm going to be careful to, where possible, choose quest solutions or skip quests in such a way that I'm not going to break anything in the Thieves Guild. And then the same will also be true later on once I start doing Thieves Guild quests, try to do things in such a way that doesn't break the Fighters Guild. Other thing to note is I'm purposely avoiding, for now, quests that occur in the Sheogorath region. We're going to get to a point in the quest lines that there will be 5 quest locations that we can visit all at the same time. That way we're not constantly having to revisit this area that is a bit of a pain to get to due to the lack of good transportation options. So the basic scheme for this segment is basically just going to be teleporting back and forth between Vivec, Balmora, Caldera, and Aldrin in order to start and finish quests for Hlaalu and Fighters Guild. So let's go ahead and get started. Actually, before I do anything else, let me equip that before I forget. Before I forget, one small change that we want to make is, so I currently have Boots of Blinding Speed on quick slot 4 and Boots of the Apostle as an inventory item on slot 5. I'm going to change this to a magic item to make it easier to cast levitation when I want it. That way I can fly from here directly over to the foreign quarter. So I take out the Boots of the Apostle and then cast it, and then quickly switch back to the Boots of Blinding Speed. I can levitate at full speed without having to constantly fiddle around with the inventory. So here I'm looking for this guy. Oops. Do that. Take some orders. The juiced off feather ring, which is over in the Hlaalu Canton. Whoops, I came out the wrong side. It's okay. There's our man. So we're going to use Zenithar's Wiles, as we always do, to convince him to help. That didn't really work at all. That did. Got the feather ring, and then we're going right back over to the foreign quarter to finish the quest. So we finished juiced off feather ring. This quest is going to send us to Aldrin. First, we're going to travel back to Balmora to do some quests there. I'm actually going to do that just for some practice. And then travel back to Balmora. Now that we're here in Balmora, I'm going to do the first 3 quests from Ada Spyri. I'm going to try to skip the 4th one, which is a quest that conflicts with the Thieves Guild. So we're going to go across the river and kill some rats, and then come right back. Quickly check to see if there are any scrolls of Akasha's Lock Splitter. Again, I don't think it's actually possible for that to happen here, but just check to be sure. So next we're going to head out the door and over this way, go to the egg mine and kill some poachers. Whoops, I don't actually want to rest, but I'll just turn off running so I can recover some fatigue by the time I get to these guys. It's also good to be getting some training from the Kwamba Foragers, because we still need to get our blunt weapon up to 70 is a pretty critical threshold for some faction quest lines. There's one of them. It's surprising how much health these guys have, considering they basically aren't even using equipment. This is going to provide a lot of good training for us. And there's the other one. Cool, finally. So now we can head back to Fighters Guild to claim our reward and start the next quest. Oh, just kidding. Actually, I think I'm gonna pick some fights against these guys just to get my light armor up to 40. That's also an important breaking point for some quests. Whoops, that's not where I wanted to go. I'm going to go back to the entrance. So this next quest involves heading to Caldera, which is convenient because that's where we want to go to start a Cloudloop quest. So there's two things I want to do while I'm still here in Balmora. One is repair all of my gear, and the second is head over to the Plalu Guild Hall in order to finish her quest line. I believe that is the last. Yeah, that's her last quest. So we're done with her, that's good. So next we're going to go to the Mages Guild and fast travel over to Caldera. So from here, I'm going to head out the north gate and then head west to get to the Ashanamu mine. I'm going to recover some stamina before I do that. So these are potentially tough fights, so I'm going to do a quick save here. What is up, my guy? We heard you're a spy. I suspect you're wrong, Acornhead. Okay. Anything I care about here? Nope. What is up, my dudes? Come at me, bruh. I'm gonna slowly make my way back towards the entrance. If necessary, I can hop out of here, and yeah, I'm gonna go do some healing. Get out of here. Cool. Done with that. So next we're going to head back to Caldera and going to talk to Ojal Helvi to start another quest with him. Okay, so now you need to catch a thief here. There's a couple different ways you can do this, and I'm going to do the way that is least likely to piss off the Thieves Guild. And least amount of running around. Let's head straight over to this person's house. Going to use Zenithar's Wiles. We need to get her disposition up to 80 in order to get her to confess. Perfect. Cool beans. Chest and windowsill. And we head back up to Ojal Helvi to finish up the quest and start the next one. We need his disposition to be at 70, which it already is. And let's see, I forget, do I want to tell? Yeah, I want to lie. Cool. Then I take his next business, which involves, this is the one where I want to go to Crassus Curio in order to gain a powerful amulet. But before we do that, we're going to fast travel to Aldrun to finish a quest for the Fighters Guild and start a quest that we'll end up doing later once we visit the Sheogarad region. Actually, I could just recall if I wanted to. Save that precious 10 gold. So let's see, now I'm going to go to the rat in the pot, which is, where's that? Up here. And I'm looking for a tongue toad. Where's tongue toad? This guy. Actually, we don't need to convince him of anything. Let him leave. It's fine. I actually made a small mistake here. In that I want to be... Actually, never mind. I think I should be fine. So I need to be a particular rank in order to start this guy's first quest. I need to be at least the rank of swordsman. But he should be able to promote me since I've finished so many quests already. Not quite. Okay, well we can fix that. Actually, this should be fine. Yeah. Alright, so we don't get to start his quest. Essentially, there's a quest. His first one involves going up to Voss, which is a necromancer tower up here. And it's one of the quests where you need to start it before you can finish it, because you need to assist someone killing a necromancer. You can kill the necromancers first, but the quest won't actually complete until you start it, talk to the person, and then finish it. That's fine, we can fix that later. So next, we're going to fast travel to Vivek. Okay, so we're done with that. There we go, now we are the swordsman. Sparky the swordsman. Some more orders, now we're going to head to St. Alm's Canton. Let's see, which one is St. Alm's? I always forget. That's for Doran. St. Delans, so we want to go over to Alms over here. Perfect. We want to go to the south side. We're looking for Canal South 2, which I think is the one in the middle, which would make sense. Recover some fatigue. Once again, looking for a cautious lock splitter, if we get lucky. Let's see if he has any lock picks or anything. Take that, yeah, bent probe, that's going to come real handy. Actually, I think what I'm going to do is recall the, oops. I'm going to recall to Aldrin. That way I can start the quest with Perseus Mercius. Cool. That way, when we do go up to the Shogog region, we can finish the quest while we're there. And rather than running back through Vivek, I can just teleport to the foreign quarter. Oops. Killed Drosakar, perfect. I'm going to take these orders to kill... Oh, never mind. This is another one I can do immediately. Got the debt money. That was an easy quest. Oh, protector. Okay. Well, the next quest is something I'm probably not going to take anyway, so that's fine. It involves taunting someone into attacking you when there's a bunch of high-level security guys around. So and it's pretty far out of the way. Actually, let's check to see if there's anything useful here. Well, here, might as well practice our security skill. Okay, so let's head on over to the Hlaalu Canton. Oops, went out the wrong way again. And we will claim our Amulet of Domination. Let's see. This document. Amulet of Domination. Bingo bango. So I'll take a quick look at this since I've mentioned it a couple times before. Amulet of Domination. Command creature or humanoid up to level 10 for 30 seconds. Command is a pretty powerful effect. Essentially what it does is it instantaneously converts your target from an enemy or neutral into an ally and gets them to follow you. So there's a lot you can do with it. You can lure NPCs away from items that you need to steal. You can, if you're in a hard fight against multiple enemies and at least one of them is below level 10, you can convert that person to being on your side. And an interesting side effect is that if you command someone and you get them to fight, you get a fight to break out between the person you've commanded and any other enemy. When the command effect wears off, they'll continue to fight each other. So it's essentially a free way of converting someone, essentially for the entire duration of the battle. The only tricky thing about this is it uses up a lot of charge, and items that use a lot of charge take a long time to recharge, so you have to use it pretty sparingly. And it doesn't work on anything that's higher level than 10. But we will get another thing later on in the Tribunal Temple questline that allows us to spend Magicka to command things that are higher than level 10. But this is potentially going to be useful, particularly when we're doing some of the Imperial Cult quests to recover artifacts. They tend to be surrounded by really dangerous enemies. Okay, so from there, we're going to run over to the treasury. Oops, not that way. We're not quite finished with this quest yet, with the erroneous documents. We still need to head down to the treasury, purchase a copy of the real document, and then return it to what's-his-face. These documents, pay for that, cool beans. I'm gonna head back to the Mages Guild. Oops, get out of my way. And then I'm going to teleport over to Caldera and finish up the quest. Cool. Okay, so that's where we're going to cut it. Essentially, in this segment, we have done a few things. We have finished all of the quests that we need in order to unlock the final quest line for House Hlaalu. Now the only thing that's preventing us from starting the quest line is our skills. So we'll need to improve Shortblade. Probably going to be one of Shortblade, Light Armor, or Security in order to reach the final quest line. We've also made some fairly significant progress in the Fighters Guild. And we've done so without doing anything that's going to interfere with the Thieves Guild. And importantly, we have unlocked a quest here in Voss, so that when we do decide to perform all of our quests in the Sjogard region, we can do that pretty easily without having to bounce back and forth a bunch of times. Also managed to get blunt weapon almost up to 60. 70 is the critical value that will enable some final quest lines for certain factions. So that's it for now.